I thought my $1,500 AV receiver was untouchable, until a $400 soundbar walked in and exposed everything I didn't want to believe. What happened next completely rewired the way I think about home audio. The breaking point, when my dream setup turned into a daily frustration. It started with excitement. That $1,500 AV receiver setup was supposed to be the crown jewel of my home theater. I spent months researching, saving, planning every inch of my space for it. But the reality? Hours of tweaking, endless calibration, constant compatibility issues, and a remote that felt like it was designed in 2001. Every time I just wanted to watch a movie or stream some music, I found myself troubleshooting instead of relaxing. What was meant to be an upgrade slowly turned into a chore. The sound was great when it worked, but something felt off. It was never as easy or seamless as I expected, and deep down, I started asking myself, am I enjoying this or just convincing myself that I should? The disappointment crept in quietly. Friends would come over, expecting that wow cinematic experience, and I'd be there fumbling with settings, changing HDMI inputs, wondering if the bass was too muddy or the vocals too recessed. And the worst part, no one else noticed the difference. They didn't hear the subtle separation, they didn't care about DTS, X or eARC, they just wanted to feel the sound. I realized I had built an overly complicated beast that only I cared about, and even I was growing tired of it. It hit me like a punch to the gut. What if I've been chasing specs instead of experience? The silent truth no one talks about. Simplicity is the real upgrade. We live in a world where more is sold as better. More channels, more ports, more power. But what no one tells you is that all of that comes with a cost. Not just money, but mental load. Every time I turned on my AV receiver, it felt like a system boot up from a server room. And when I wanted to switch from watching Netflix to listening to music, I'd go through 5 different steps. That's not luxury. That's friction. That's fatigue disguised as high-end tech. The day I tried a $400 soundbar, I didn't expect anything. I hooked it up out of curiosity, maybe even desperation. Within 5 minutes, it was running. No app downloads, no firmware updates, no arcane setup menus, just sound. Rich, clear, surprisingly deep sound. I played the same scene from Blade Runner 2049, and for the first time, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace of mind. It didn't sound better in the technical sense, but it felt better. It made me want to watch more, not tweak more. And that's when I knew, this soundbar wasn't just a budget alternative. It was the right choice for me. The hidden cost of high-end gear, stress, complexity, and false pride. Here's the truth most audio purists don't want to admit. A $1,500 AV receiver is not always about sound. Sometimes it's about ego. We buy these things to prove something, to ourselves, to others, maybe even to feel like we're part of some elite club. But the reality is far more uncomfortable. I wasn't watching more movies, I wasn't enjoying more music, and I certainly wasn't relaxing. I was managing a system, maintaining it, obsessing over cables, bit rates, and speaker positioning like it was a second job. And yet, I kept defending it until I couldn't anymore. Until I realized the only thing this setup was amplifying was my stress. So when a simple $400 soundbar gave me 90% of the experience with 0% of the headache, it wasn't a downgrade, it was a liberation. The irony? That budget soundbar made me fall in love with sound again. I started listening more, watching more, feeling more. Not because of the specs, but because of the simplicity. Sometimes the smartest choice isn't the one that impresses others. It's the one that makes you happy, quietly and consistently. Let me know when you're ready for part 2. What I gained and what I lost, sound quality breakdown, feature trade-offs, and the surprises no one talks about. Part 2. 2. The $400 soundbar that changed everything. I wasn't expecting a miracle. After spending years surrounded by the towering presence of an expensive AV receiver, matched with powerful floor-standing speakers and intricate wiring, a $400 soundbar felt like a downgrade on paper. But curiosity won. The soundbar in question? Sleek, minimal, unassuming. It didn't scream power, but there was something about its design, something about its reviews, that made me wonder, could this tiny machine really challenge my $1,500 beast? The first time I turned it on, I wasn't ready for what came next. It wasn't just loud, it was detailed. There was clarity in the vocals I'd never noticed before. Subtle background effects in movies felt more alive, more spatially aware. I kept rewinding scenes, not because I missed anything, but because I was hearing things for the first time. My living room transformed. Not because I added more speakers, but because this compact bar somehow unlocked the room's natural acoustics. It felt like magic, but it wasn't magic. It was evolution. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept testing it, music, movies, games. And every time, the same thought returned. Have we been lied to? Has the AV receiver industry been feeding us complexity in the name of audiophile experiences, while real innovation slipped into something this simple and affordable? The soundbar didn't just perform. It challenged the hierarchy of home audio. And I wasn't ready for what that meant. 3. Setup shock. From complex wires to plug and play. Let's talk about the war zone that was my AV receiver setup. Behind the cabinet, wires, miles of them. HDMI in, HDMI out, speaker cables labeled LF, RF, C sub, Zone 2. It was a jungle. Every new device added another problem. Calibration tools, room mics, endless menus, firmware updates. And don't get me started on the remote. A NASA launch sequence had fewer buttons. For years, I told myself this was the price of greatness. That complexity equals quality. I was wrong. Enter the soundbar. One HDMI cable. Power cord. Done. It synced with my TV in seconds. No manual diving. No label printers. No crawling behind dusty furniture tracing wires like a bomb squad. It just worked. And that alone was a shock. I didn't realize how much mental energy I was wasting maintaining my perfect setup until I replaced it with something effortless. But here's the twist I didn't expect. I didn't lose any functionality I actually used. The AV receiver had dozens of sound modes, most of which I never touched. The soundbar? It had 3, and they worked better. Switching from movie to music mode didn't require a 12-page manual. It was intuitive, simple, elegant. That was the real upgrade, not just in sound, but in experience, in peace of mind. And maybe that's the biggest secret no one talks about. Sometimes we don't need more. We need less done right. This $400 soundbar didn't just save me money. It saved me time, sanity, and in a strange way, it gave me back my living room, not as a shrine to gear, but as a place to enjoy the very thing it was built for, unforgettable sound. 4. Sound test begins. Expectation versus reality. When I first unboxed the $400 soundbar, I didn't expect much. In fact, I braced for disappointment. I was coming from a $1,500 AV receiver setup with towering speakers, intricate wiring, and a promise of true cinematic audio. The idea that a slim, plug-and-play soundbar could even come close felt laughable. But then I hit play. The first few seconds of sound didn't just surprise me, they stunned me. Crisp vocals cut through the room. Details I used to miss in movie scenes suddenly popped. It didn't sound better than my AVR setup. It sounded different, and in some ways more alive. There was a raw intimacy to the sound that was hard to ignore. Dolby Atmos without the bulk. I couldn't believe my ears. Here's where things got weird. I tested the same Dolby Atmos scene I always use. The overhead helicopter, the distant echo, the deep rumble. And this tiny soundbar created a space I didn't expect. Not with actual rear speakers, of course, but with psychoacoustic magic that felt immersive enough to question everything. I leaned forward. Was it real? Was it trickery? Either way, I couldn't help but feel it. The sound seemed to travel around me, and while purists may scoff, I genuinely asked myself, how much of that expensive AVR was just overkill? The bass test that changed my mind. Bass was always the battleground. My $1,500 setup had a 12-inch monster subwoofer that made the floor vibrate. Surely, a $400 soundbar sub couldn't compete. Right? Wrong. When the explosions kicked in, when the car chase roared through my living room, I didn't miss the old sub. I questioned why I tolerated the bulk for so long. Sure, it wasn't ground-shaking, but it was tight, clean, and surprisingly punchy. And then came the realization. It was no longer about brute force. It was about balance. And for the first time, I felt like my living room wasn't just loud, it was intelligent. 5. What I gained: space, sanity, and simplicity. Removing the AVR setup felt like unloading emotional weight. No more speaker wires crawling behind furniture. No more remote juggling. No more AV menus buried in complicated jargon. Suddenly, I had space, not just physically, but mentally. There was peace in my living room. Clean surfaces. One remote. one HDMI, and most importantly, zero stress. My family stopped asking how to turn the system on. It just worked. And that, in itself, was a kind of luxury I hadn't realized I was missing. What I lost, the harsh truth about trade-offs. But let's not pretend this was a fairy tale. I did lose something. That full, multi-channel soundstage in large rooms? Gone. The raw power to shake the walls during a blockbuster finale? Lessened. And the ability to upgrade individual speakers or tweak every decibel? Forgotten. But here's the kicker. I didn't care as much as I thought I would. Because what I gained, ease, convenience, and emotional relief, was far more valuable in my day-to-day life. My priorities had shifted, and suddenly chasing audiophile perfection felt like chasing smoke. The emotional trade that no one talks about. There's a psychological layer to this shift that no one warns you about. I wasn't just swapping equipment, I was shedding an identity. For years, being a home theater guy was part of who I was. Letting go of the AVR felt like betrayal. But when I stopped obsessing and started enjoying, I realized I'd traded ego for experience. I spent less time tweaking and more time watching. Less frustration, more fun. That $400 soundbar didn't just change my setup, it changed my relationship with sound itself. And in the quiet moments after the credits rolled, I understood. Sometimes less really is more. 4. Sound test. Did it actually hold up? The moment of truth. Could this really compete? As I sat down for the first test, a mix of doubt and excitement filled the room. Could a $400 soundbar really challenge the power and clarity of my old $1,500 AV receiver setup? I pressed play. The opening scene of a Dolby Atmos demo rolled in. Immediately, the room came alive, not with just volume, but with depth. The sound didn't just hit me, it surrounded me. And for a moment, I questioned everything I thought I knew about high-end audio gear. Music and clarity, the unexpected detail. I queued up a live acoustic track, something intimate and revealing. What I heard shocked me. The clarity of vocals, the separation of instruments, even the subtle reverb. This budget soundbar wasn't just good for the price. It was simply good. The AV receiver may have had more brute force, but this had character. Warm tones, clean highs, and surprisingly tight mids. I started to wonder if I'd been overpaying for audio perfection that my ears barely appreciated. Movie mode madness. Is this real Dolby Atmos? Next came the real challenge, action films. Explosions, helicopters, whisper-quiet dialogues. The soundbar's virtual Dolby Atmos kicked in. I felt the whoosh of jets from above, and the punch of bass in my chest, not floor shaking, but absolutely immersive. This wasn't a gimmick. It was real 3D sound, simplified. And unlike the AVR, I didn't have to tweak 8 speaker levels or recalibrate anything. It just worked. The missing power, but not a deal breaker. Let's be real, there were compromises. The deep, thunderous low end of my subwoofer-driven AV setup, slightly softened here. The dynamic range of a full 7.1.4 system, narrowed. But unless you're a die-hard audiophile with perfect room acoustics, you likely won't notice, or miss it. In a medium-sized room, this soundbar punches above its weight. No wires, no stress. It's not about matching the AVR blow for blow. It's about delivering 80% of the experience for 25% of the cost and effort. 5. What I gained and what I lost. Freedom from complexity. And that changed everything. What I didn't realize until I made the switch was how much the AVR system owned me. Constant calibrations. HDMI handshakes failing. Firmware updates. Just turning on the TV meant juggling remotes and praying the audio passed through right. With the soundbar, it's one button, one remote, one cable. It made me want to watch more, listen more, because it removed friction. And honestly, that's what tech should do. A cleaner living space, no more wires, no more clutter. I'll admit it, the old setup looked cool to me. Stacked gear, speaker stands, thick cables zigzagging around the carpet. But to everyone else, it was a mess. The day I removed the AV receiver, speakers, and amps, my room finally looked like a living space again. Minimalist, modern, and clean. And somehow, that made the audio feel more intentional, not just loud, but elegant. The audiophile ego, and letting it go. This was the hardest part. For years, I wore my AV setup like a badge of honor. Forums, specs, debates, part of my identity was tied to that gear. Replacing it with a soundbar felt like surrender. But here's the twist. I was chasing numbers, not experience. The soundbar may not win a specs war, but it won me over where it counts, in daily use, emotional impact, and ease. I didn't downgrade. I upgraded to what actually mattered to me. The trade-offs that actually felt worth it. Yes, I lost some low-end punch, some modular control, that feeling of having a serious setup. But what I gained was freedom, simplicity, space, and peace of mind. No more wondering if my system is optimally tuned. No more stressing over HDMI inputs or lip-sync delays. I just sit down, hit play, and enjoy. That's the kind of upgrade I never saw coming. But now, I wouldn't trade it back.